Global happenings today. We communicate. We analyze global news.
The African Democratic Congress, ADC, has finally spoken up about the invitation extended to Emeka Ihedioha and the detention of the former governor of Sokoto State and also former Speaker of the House of Representatives, talking about Tambuwal. And interestingly, Atiku Abubakar had also spoken up because we all know that Atiku Abubakar and Tambuwal, they are very close pals, and both of them are in the coalition together. You get to hear the position of ADC and also what Atiku Abubakar have to say about that move taken by the Bola Ahmed Tinubu's government against those duo. But first of all, ADC, what do they have to say? According to the news, the African Democratic Congress, ADC, has once again doubled down on its stance that the Economic and Financial Crime Commission is being used by the government to harass and intimidate opposition party leaders. But the report have it that the opposition party was reacting to Monday's overnight detention of one of the leaders of the coalition and former governor of Sokoto State, Tambuwal, and the invitation to Imo State government official to urgently provide information on the 7-month tenure of former Imo State Governor Emeka Ihedioha. In a statement by its National Secretary, Malam Bolaji Abdullahi, the ADC said it has become crystal clear that the Efcc is out on a hatchet job, a choreographed media trial targeted at bringing coalition leaders to disrepute. The party questioned why the Efcc had suddenly found urgent reason to investigate David Mark 10 years after leaving the Senate presidency, Ihedioha more than 5 years after his brief tenure as governor, and Tambuwal 2 years after leaving office as Sokoto governor. According to the ADC, the pattern of ignoring APC stalwart with fresher and well-documented cases while targeting opposition figures with stall allegation is proof of selective justice and assault on political freedom. In clear terms, in the full statement released, he said, following our earlier release on Monday in which we alerted Nigerians about the plan to deploy the Economic and Financial Crime Commission, EFCC, as a political weapon by the ruling All Progressive Congress, APC, we wish to bring to the public attention fresh details that exposed the extent of these coordinated assaults on the opposition. The detention of one of our leaders, former Sokoto State Governor, Senator Tambuwal, has marked the start of the crackdown intended to intimidate key leaders of the opposition and discredit them through media trial. As shown in an EFCC correspondent currently circulating online, the commission has now embarked on the investigation of another coalition state governor, Emeka Ihedioha, with an urgent request to the officials to provide information related specifically to his brief 7 months in office. Oh my God. Right Honorable Emeka Ihedioha, a former Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives, served as Governor of Imo State for just 7 months from May 29, 2019 until the Supreme Court removed him on January 14, 2020, a full 5 years and 7 months ago. We therefore wonder what makes investigating him suddenly urgent now. Most notably, the EFCC has now surreptitiously started excavating all the files from the ADC chairman, Senator David Mark's tenure as president of the Nigerian Senate. Let us remind Nigerians that our party chairman, Senator Mark, served as Senate president for 8 years from June 6, 2007 to June 6, 2015, making him the longest serving Senate president in our history. He left office 10 years and 2 months ago, 3 Senate presidents after the EFCC suddenly remembered that he was a Senate president. While the ADC as a party stand for adherence to the rule of law and due process like all Nigerians, we question the curious timing, selective targets, and political motivation that now seems to define the EFCC's action. A fight against corruption that begins and ends with the opposition is not justice. It is persecution. We have no doubt that this is witch hunting. It is the APC's government weaponizing anti-corruption to do its political battle. Having failed to stop the coalition, the G3 ruling party's next move is to discredit its leaders by getting the EFCCs to accuse them of looting the entire treasuries. These are calculated media trials which start and end with accusation, the scandal, and the consequent lowering of public estimation. It matters little whether there is a basis for these accusations. The game is the circus show. The question writes themselves. Why now? Why these men? Why this timeline? If corruption truly has no status of limitation, why are the EFCC's fire on APC's own big men, many with fresher documented cases, gathering dust is in forgotten drawers? Why does the EFCC only discover urgent anti-corruption zeal when an opposition leader becomes a public threat? The truth is simple. These are not fresh investigations. They are political maneuvers, cynical attempts to intimidate and weaken credible opposition voices ahead of the 2027 election. The APC EFCC does not touch its own while they are in office or when they defect to the ruling party. Once a former governor crosses over, their files vanishes like morning dew. Since Ifeanyi Okowa joined the APC, have Nigerians heard a single whisper from the EFCC about his case? Yet opposition leaders are haunted with allegations from decades past without a shred of new evidence. Let this be on record that the EFCC is doing on behalf of the APC government is anti-democracy. I'll take that again. It said, let this be on record. What the EFCC is doing on behalf, we remind the APC that state institutions do not belong to the ruling party, they belong to Nigerians. We call on citizens to speak up, to resist, and to demand that EFCC stop this witch hunting in the interest of our democracy. Today it is David Marks, Ihedioha, and Tambuwal. Tomorrow it could be anyone who dared to hold the government accountable. That was what he had to say. But also, Atiku Abubakar's position has been made known. And according to the news, Atiku Abubakar in his tweet said that the only reason the official EFCC has detained the former governor of Sokoto State, Senator Aminu Waziri Tambuwal, is because he is a member of the opposition coalition. It is a continuation of the Tinubu-led administration agenda to harass, intimidate, and decimate the opposition. The reality unfolding before us today is that the Tinubu administration, as with other aspects, has objectified the fight against corruption as a political tool to coerce opposition leaders into the ruling party. We are living witnesses to a growing trend where the states and its operators have assumed the roles of a bully by making corruption and the fight against it a political agenda. Certainly, that is not the objective for which I work hard during our administration to create the EFCC. It is as though today anyone who associates with the opposition is a target for phantom corruption allegation, and it is as though as soon as they are coerced into the political agenda of president at official bar, their sins are forgiven. That definitely is not how they build institution. That certainly is not how to fight the monster of corruption. Indeed, such tendencies provide the stimulants for corruption to strive. We have seen how the EFCC has been used to empty opposition state governors into the ruling party, and the Tea Party is not about to end anytime soon. While the genuine fight against corruption is a matter that requires the total support of all Nigerians, the objectification of it as a political agenda should be roundly condemned by all in civil society spaces and friends of Nigeria in the international community. We have in recent time witnessed the use of anti-corruption agenda in coercing political leaders into the ruling party. Our assurance to Nigerians is that we would never succumb to this anti-democratic machination of railroading our people into one-party dictatorship. That was the position of the Atiku Abubakar, former PDP presidential candidate. But, whatever we are going to say, as much as it makes a great deal of sense, we have to be clear about this truth. And that truth is that if you didn't steal any money, there is no way anybody will come for you. You understand? If you did not take any coin, nobody will come for you. That's why we need a president who can give us a template on how to run, how to be inside water, but yet will not drink the water, because the water is meant for a different purpose. Each of these people, as much as we can, say Efcc is using winch hunting them and all of that, when they check your file, imagine 189 billion naira. Oh, no, it's more money now. Let's be telling ourselves the truth. 189, yeah, it's coming at this time. Unfortunately, maybe it's an agenda on the part of the current administration to begin to, witch hunt everybody and all of that. But the big question is, did you do it? If you did not do it, come on, Nigerians will wake up and they will support you. We've seen countless times how Nigeria rallied around politicians and those who are not guilty, the likes of Natasha, Udwagwan, when she was suspended. Imagine the crowd of people, both on social media, physical presence and all of that. Everybody were there comforting her and all of the government somehow kind of handled that issue with so much care, though she's still under suspension. But at least, because she does not have any cockroaches in her cupboard, I mean, she was not scared to challenge the, Senate president. That's what we want, because no matter how we are going to rant, at the end of the day, EFCC will say, this man withdrew 189 billion naira cash. Bros, where did they take the money to? You understand? Can you give explanation about that money? So, I mean, David Mark is under investigation now. Why? Because they know there are some things he may have possibly done. But if he does not have any, cockroach in his cupboard, no need to faint. You just watch them, let them keep suffering themselves. Look at someone like Peter Obi. We thought there was nobody like that. Till today, no single thing can be used against him. He said when they asked him about the house he had in the United States of America, far back, he showed them documentation where he withdrew the money from to pay for that house. And all of them were his business proceeds. This is the kind of leaders that we want. These are the kind of leaders that we want to see. So for me, sorry, it is witch hunting, but at the same time, you were guilty. You understand? So there's nothing anybody can do. Let's be hopeful that at the end of the day, all of this will come to an end, and the new set of leaders will realize that, so that I will have my own political ideology and drive it home, I must have a clean hand, before EFCC, ICPC, and the likes. Let's be in the conversation and talk.